Hey folks, Rich 220 here. Uh, I actually did more work on the car today. I got the fan motor off. I got the exhaust manifold bolt out. And the way I got it out was I used a jack that you would use on a PT Cruiser. And I put it in between the cross member that actually has the engine mounts. And the other end I put just below the heads. And as I started opening it, it moved the engine up towards the passenger side, which gave me enough clearance to get the exhaust manifold bolt out. Now, ultimately, this car needs a timing chain, a set of head gaskets, intake manifold gaskets, water pump gasket. The water pump's fine. It does need a timing chain, and I'm literally dismantling this whole car from top to bottom and then rebuilding it from bottom up. So I took all the push rods out, all the rocker arms, all the nuts that go to hold the rocker arms in place, and the lobes that sit below the nuts in the rocker arms. The intake manifold is out, the carburetor's off, distributor's out, water pump, radiator, timing chain cover, spark plugs, spark wires, all that stuff is off. We are now down to the bare timing chain with the gears, which I'm trying to line up because as I tried to take it off, it spun out of compression. So in other words, it's no longer at top dead center, and I think the only way to get it back is to actually turn it in three accessions, or what do they call that? It's got to go three times around, I think, in order for it to hit number one again. But I'm never going to be able to tell because I took everything the heck off. The only way I'll be able to tell is if I put the timing chain cover back on dummy wise and just keep turning it until the lifters go up and down, because they're the only things that are left in there. Mainly because there's a lot of sludge and there's antifreeze and there's oil and it's just a mess. And I don't want that garbage all down in the engine block. I don't need anything blocking up the pistons in the cylinders. So, this way, when I get around to cleaning it, I can clean it, put it back together. I got a little aggravated today, so I didn't want to record that and put it on film. I have a very short fuse when things don't go right. And I'm not saying go my way. I'm just saying things don't go right. You ever have one of those days where you're working on something for hours, but you're not getting nothing done? You understand what I'm saying? It's very disturbing. It aggravates me to no end. It's like a bad rash. And most of the time I walk away, but sometimes I try and stick it out, but I just get worse and more aggravated. And, I just want to try and get something completed. I don't want to be stuck in a never-ending dilemma of not getting nothing done. I can't understand that. Well, anyway, that's the point. This is the update video. I can't do any lives until I get like 1,000 subscribers. For some reason, YouTube is really strict on that. And I'm like, well, how are you supposed to get 1,000 subscribers if you don't get any visual, what the hell do they call that? If I don't get people to see me, And that's the point of me wanting to do a live. Now, there are other apps I can do this with, and then YouTube can just fly off for all I care. But I just don't understand why they make it so difficult for people to actually, get airtime in order for people to see them. What do they got to lose for it, really? Let's see, what else did I do today? No, that was about it. It started clouding over, so I called it quits. Wrapped everything up and came inside. Oh, yesterday I bought two belair inserts for the side of the car. The metal piece that says belair on it. I got them from somebody yesterday. But they're for a 2-door, not for a 4-door. So I have those to clean up too. And I have a couple parts here and there that are extras or spares or whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much where it stands right now. I covered everything up and called it quits for the day because I got to take the fender off on the passenger side. For some reason, the guy seemed to think it was okay to try and flatten it out on a pile of rocks with a hammer, going from the inside out. So now it looks like there's a bunch of warts in it, or bumps in it, or whatever you want to call it. And this guy's got a rusty pair of vice grips holding the fender in place. I mean, those vice grips look like they've been down now for about 30, 40 years. Just get drill a hole in the bottom of the fender after you straighten it out the proper way, and then get a bolt and put it in. What's the big deal, really, Some people just don't know what they're doing, I guess. But yeah, anyway, it's going back together. It'll go slowly, but it'll go back together. It's just me working on it, nobody else. And I actually do it when I have the time and when I'm not working, or when I'm not cleaning my house or doing the yard, or not aggravated, So it's like, that's the time that I get out there. And when it's not hot out. Because when it's hot out, it makes it difficult for me to breathe. Like today I was out there, I think for about maybe 3 or 4 hours. And what happened was it was so hot out there that I started pouring sweat from my shoulders all the way down the front of my shirt, not once but twice. And that just adds fuel to the fire of aggravation. So that's the reason why I called it quits. Enough was enough. It'll be there. I'm not going anywhere with it. It's not going anywhere because, quite frankly, the engine's been torn down that there's nothing to start it with, nothing to move it with. So it'll be there until, I'm ready to get it done. And I'm not going to wait 20 years. I'm not going to take the heads off and wait a year and a half before I put them back on, because I know that the pistons will get rusted. And so will the sleeves that the pistons ride in. So, I want to get those done ASAP. Get them cleaned out. Get new head gaskets put on. And, start rebuilding this thing. That's the whole point behind it. All right, well, that's not much of a video. I understand that. But consider this kind of like a live. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and hit the bell for post notifications. I'm always putting videos out, so it's not like you're going to wait a month or 2 weeks or something like that. At most, it might be 6 days, but that's based on me working, and we all do have a life other than, recording ourselves, doing what we're doing. So, content is an issue, but life takes precedence over that. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace out. Bye.